Experience the freedom of VR without boundaries.
Peggy 18. PS4 for the players.
Samsung has made the exciting world of virtual reality a reality with Gear VR Innovator Edition. Powered by Oculus and the Galaxy Note 4, Gear VR is a virtual reality headset that lets you experience games, movies, and more like never before. You simply insert the Galaxy Note 4 into place and put it on. Then select Milk VR and get ready to be amazed. You're gonna want some serious sound.
Whoa, what a view.
Gear VR plunges you into a totally immersive 360 environment. What do you think?
Feels like I'm really there.
You can see things from a whole new perspective. Ready for another adventure? Navigate menus, explore worlds, and play games by simply turning your head, swiping, and tapping the side-mounted touchpad.
And now I'm on a safari.
Gear VR brings the experience to life. And where are you? I'm in a really intense battle. Take that.
Direct hit!
Whoa. Looks like the best seat in the house. Up, down, side to side, even behind you. Everywhere you look, you're in the action. Wow. And it all happens on the Super AMOLED screen on the Galaxy Note 4. The world of virtual reality is finally here. With Samsung Gear VR Innovator Edition, powered by Oculus and the Galaxy Note 4.
What is OSVR? OSVR is the freedom to shape the future. It's open access for everyone to the next stage of technology, to a reality you can help create. OSVR is open source virtual reality. It's the open standard for the development of both software and hardware for virtual reality. What does that mean? Well, pretty much three things. First, it's open source, which means that all the hardware and software designs are completely open for anyone and everyone to develop on. Second, it's supported by some of the leading companies in the industry today, companies who are committed to promoting virtual reality and keeping it free and open for all. Finally, it's all about gaming. While the work done for OSVR can be used for pretty much everything, the main purpose of OSVR is creating the best and most immersive virtual gaming experience. However, there are many things that OSVR is not. For starters, OSVR is not controlled by a single or group of companies. The OSVR software license uses the Apache 2.0 license, the same license that Android is licensed on. To put it simply, the open platform Android is to smartphones as OSVR is to virtual reality. Further, OSVR is also not a standalone OS. At this time, OSVR runs on Linux, Android, and Windows. Finally, OSVR is not a competitor to existing HMDs like Oculus. In fact, OSVR was designed to work with all HMDs, and we hope that the work on OSVR will lead to even better VR devices in the future. Why OSVR? While we believe that virtual reality is an exciting platform for the future, it's still quite a ways away from a consumer product that everyone can use. And lots of work still remains to be done, and not by just one or a few companies. With the concerted efforts of the community and the developers, we'll be able to achieve an incredible VR experience sooner rather than later. With that in mind, there are a few problems that OSVR is addressing: hardware and software fragmentation, industry adoption, and the lack of access to VR development platforms. Today, there are hundreds of different VR devices, each sending and receiving data in a different way, such that supporting them would mean development effort required for every single device. With OSVR, each device and software is now able to connect on a single open standard and immediately become compatible with each other, dramatically reducing development efforts both for the hardware and software developers. OSVR was built for everyone to have access to. As such, some of the world's leaders in VR have come together to adopt OSVR. From VR glasses, motion sensing controllers, cameras, eye tracking, and leading game engines, adoption of OSVR is growing at an incredible rate due to its open nature. To provide an open development platform for hardware, OSVR is providing the OSVR Hacker Development Kit, a completely open source kit that will allow hardware hackers to plug in and connect their devices without having to build their own HMD, or allow software developers to get up and running on developing for VR immediately. All the designs and schematics for the OSVR Hacker Developer Kit are completely open source and available for download at the OSVR site. Any user who has access to a 3D printer and the materials can now build his or her own Hacker Development Kit at home. In the event developers don't have access to the resources to build the Hacker Developer Kit, Razer will be taking pre-orders for the kit at just $199.99 US and expects to ship the kit starting June 2015. Join the cause for an open standard and find out more about OSVR and the Hacker Dev Kit at osvr.com.
I'm someone who gets pitched a lot. I've never seen a demo like this one.
The most interesting product demo that I've ever had in my life.
The potential here is enormous, and people will just do wonderful things with it.
We're about to undo 30 years of complexity that computing has brought into our lives.
Holograms are no longer limited to the pages of science fiction. You can now touch them, you can see them, and you can even collaborate with them. This is the Meta 2. It's the most immersive augmented reality on the planet.
So in the Meta 2, we've designed one of the most advanced optical engines available in an AR headset today. We have designed a 90-degree field of view, which gives you a totally immersive experience with the virtual objects around you without having you feel like you're looking through a very narrow window. One of the biggest pain points we've heard from past developers in AR headsets is resolution. So in our latest advanced optical engine, we've included an extremely high resolution display.
We designed the Meta 2 with developers in mind. It's really a tool for developers to wear for an extended period of time. We used high-quality materials for comfort, for longevity, for durability. We thought about how it balanced and how easy it might be to adjust something on the fly and take it on and take it off.
This is a tool which is an extension of the mind. And so that's why Meta is creating this new discipline we call neuro-interface design. It leverages everything that we know about the human brain in order to generate much, much more intuitive interfaces.
So when you get our Meta 2, out from the box, you get our SDK tool that has a lot of different features. One of the two notable ones are our hand tracking that allow you to manipulate objects in space, and our positional tracking that allow you to move and anchor the objects around you.
What we were set out to do with hands physics is to create a new way of doing hand tracking, a way that doesn't require the user to learn these metaphoric gestures that are cognitively disconnected from the way we've evolved to do things. You just put on these glasses and interact with these holograms just like you would with a real object in the real world.
If you're thinking about what augmented reality system to use, keep in mind that Meta's been in the market and getting feedback for 2 years. We provide developers access at lots of different levels of the stack, so you can plug in and use your skills instantly with the Meta SDK.
As developers, I think to stay relevant, we need to start thinking about how we build and design for things in AR. And I really think this is where computing is heading.
I am so excited about the operating environment that we've created. We are no longer confined by the sizes of our screens that sit on our desks or in our pockets. We are now able to make the entire world our desktop background, and this makes the possibilities endless.
This kind of a product represents a new era in personal computing and nothing less. And these kinds of paradigm shifts happen very, very rarely. So to all you developers out there, this is your chance to change the way that we work, we learn, we shop, and we play. Join us in this brand new meta reality. Thank you.
Zeiss is a traditional company with more than 160 years experience in optics, and VR is something fascinating. And so we created the VR ONE.
I guess that virtual reality facilitates collaboration. For example, with our technology, medicine could reach far greater rural areas right now, because sometimes the only technology those people have at hand is a cell phone. We really want to create a technology that is accessible to everyone.
The lenses turn your phone's display into an immersive virtual reality environment. The challenges in designing the optics were reducing them to their essentials to keep the best performance, the most comfortable user experience without adding cost.
So I think it wasn't really too far off that we thought, okay, our core competence is optics. Why don't we develop a device that helps us turn the cell phone into a 3D experience?
Just create the future, not just create a device, but shape the future.
There are a couple of devices on the market right now, but there is not one device basically that is for the broader consumer market.
We use the sensors of the smartphone. It's just by turning your head. With the launch of the product, we will support iPhone 6 and Galaxy S5. And there will be specific trays for other mobile phones. And we even think about providing 3D data for printout in 3D printers.
Creating new worlds and experience them is the first time affordable for many, many people. It will change our thinking. Just imagine sitting in an airplane, but at the same time being next to a supernova somewhere in the universe, or being in a micro world, or just see how a design of a car interior looks like when you make a virtual test drive.
Openness in thought and action.
Visions of a world in which we'd really like to live in.
The attempt to merge technology and design.
New stories, independent of space and time.
We are on a mission to unlock the essence of reality in virtual worlds, to enable human integration with technology that is so seamless, all it takes is a glance for your digital environment to react at the speed of thought. We are FOVE, the world's first eye-tracking virtual reality headset.
FOVE is pushing the boundaries of what is possible with virtual reality and helping to realize its true potential. We wanted to create the next generation of VR, so we developed the world's most advanced eye tracking technology and are complementing it with a high-resolution screen and low-latency tracking.
As the user perceives the digital environment, FOVE's infrared cameras track their pupils and register the slightest movements. With each expression, glance, and blink, the user's intentions manifest in the virtual world.
Because FOVE knows exactly where the user is looking with imperceptible delay, we can enable a technique called foveated rendering. This allows us to focus the fidelity in the part of the vision that matters most, leading to better performance on lower-end hardware than is currently possible.
By calculating subtle parallax between pupils, FOVE enables software to present virtual environments with realistic depth of field, improving immersion and allowing the eyes to relax when viewing objects at varying depths. And by enabling fine control with the eyes, FOVE significantly reduces simulation sickness through the elimination of unnecessary movements. With FOVE, artificial intelligence becomes more responsive and nuanced, reacting to the player's most subtle intentions and providing more realistic interaction. With eye tracking, we can create a truly natural user interface that is intuitive and nearly subconscious in action.
What is truly interesting with eye tracking technology is that it enables users to deeply interact with the virtual reality world by translating subtle eye movements into emotional expressions, which can be read and reacted to just like in real life.
But that's just the beginning. FOVE technology enables entirely new forms of expression, communication, and movement. Those with restricted use of their hands can simulate a mouse and keyboard using only their eyes. Users can even control a robot to look around the room and give others instructions. In the I Play the Piano project, FOVE technology enabled a student with muscular dystrophy to lead his school choir in song while playing the piano with just his eyes. FOVE has a profound future. Our technology will not only react to and emulate complex human emotions conveyed through the eyes, but also through facial expressions. At last, with FOVE, we can fully integrate human expressions into everyday VR.
FOVE is not just a dream. The technology is already working. Our team has been demoing the FOVE prototype around the world, and the power of our technology is clear. People everywhere are really excited about this.
FOVE's amazing. We at High Fidelity are working on letting people interact as avatars while they're in head-mounted displays. This is a solid HMD, even without the eye tracking. I'm really excited to see that combined with eye tracking and see what we can do with it. This is a huge step forward.
It's an incredibly complex technological problem to track eyes in real time and have it interact in the environment. There is a company who has solved this problem, and that's FOVE, and we're very excited for their product to come to market.
Eye tracking really works very, very well. I support these guys 100%. Let's go FOVE.
The future of storytelling lies with game interactivity. And I ask you, our backers, to support us in building the most expressive content that our technology can enable.
By being an early backer, you will receive an HMD dev kit, early access to our SDK, and technical support. FOVE will empower you to create unprecedented kinds of expressions and interactions. We invite everyone to share our vision and support our project. Join us in creating the future of virtual reality.
The Sulon Q is the world's first and only tether-free wireless wear-and-play headset that combines virtual reality, augmented reality, and spatial computing into all-in-one platform. The first important ingredient of the system is called the spatial processing unit. The spatial processing unit is a unit within the headset that combines revolutionary next-generation computer vision technologies and brings them all together to create VR and AR experiences like no other. It maps the environment in real time and sends that data to the AMD FX 8800P processor, which then processes it further, and combined with this Radeon R7 graphics, it's able to produce console quality, beautiful graphics that will just blow your mind on a 2560 by 1440p display, and is running at maximum 35 watt power.
Sulon represents the promise of virtual and augmented reality made easy in an all-in-one tether-free headset that completely takes advantage of the power of Radeon graphics. And when combined with Sulon's own spatial processing unit. It delivers console quality graphics and the ability to transition from real world to a virtual world seamlessly.
The Sulon Q is a revolutionary platform that combines many different core revolutionary technologies developed by Sulon and as well by our third-party partners. Specifically in the FX8800P, we got this beautiful HSA architecture that fuses the SPU, GPU, and CPU all together into this beautiful harmony of low compute burden, and thus presenting a whole load of available computational capabilities to allow users to do actual computing. And thus the first ever spatial computing platform that does both VR and AR was born. It also has a very, very outstanding graphics processing capabilities with the Radeon R7 graphics processor. And combine all that together, you got this beautiful revolutionary product that's completely wireless. It's producing graphics like no other. So Sulon Q integrates AMD Liquid VR as a part of the GPU Open Initiative to bring seamless, responsive VR and AR experiences to life. The system also ships with Sulon spatial earbuds are specifically customized to bring you the beautiful audio experiences that are required for VR and AR. Sulon Q is a very powerful and lightweight all-in-one solution that provides amazing virtual reality and augmented reality experiences, and as well as spatial computing experiences, all together in one solution. AMD has been a tremendous partner to work with on the headset. It's a tremendous showcase of what Radeon Technologies can do for the VR industry.
To watch 360 content properly, you've got to have the 360 VR. Not too heavy and outstandingly portable. Huh? This here is the LG 360 VR. So small, so light. Before you start your viewing experience, connect the cable to the G5, run LG Friends Manager, and after downloading and installing LG 360 VR Manager, also, through recommended content installed along with 360 VR Manager. To enjoy 360 VR even more comfortably, first take off the light blocker, move the lens left or right to adjust distance, and rotate the lens for clear focus. Done adjusting focus? Put the light blocker on, and you're ready to immerse yourself even more. Now, let's put it on. Wow! To choose the menu or content you want, look toward the menu to move the pointer to the position you want, then press the OK button. If there's too much content, drag left, right, up, or down on the phone screen to conveniently select the content you want. To go to the previous screen, press the back button. Press and hold to go right to the home screen. If you want to change settings, press and hold the OK button. LG G5 can also be used as a controller. Touch anywhere on the screen to select. Touch and hold to go to the previous screen. Easy, right? In Now Playing, you can watch from where you left off on your most recently watched video. Surround sound makes it even more real, like you're there. It feels so real. Whew. Okay, that was sweet. Life's good when you play more. LG 360 VR.